Ahoy, ahoy. How's it going? There's 3 people here before the thing even goes live. That's pretty cool. How's it going, guys? Let's see. I'm gonna try and see if I can get some kind of a monitor set up on the chat a little bit better. Set my iPad just off screen here, and maybe with any luck I'll be able to monitor the chat this time. The YouTube app on here. Hi Chi, what up? The chat on the streaming app really sucks. So before, this is just going to take a couple of seconds to get sorted. I think, maybe. Figures, whatever. I'm just going to let that do its thing. It's probably going to start yapping at me. Alright, we got the soldering iron warming up. I just want to say I loved your SAT and SDR projects. Cheers, Simply Reviewing. I enjoyed them very much too. Got the irons warming up. I think we're going to build a little bit more of this quadcopter tonight. Hopefully, with any luck, it's going to work out. Long story short, this is the 225 quad that we started. Oh, when did I start this? Sunday night? I started building it. I've come a long way. This thing's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can maybe get a better camera angle on it for you guys here. Maybe not. Oh, the color balance. The white balance even worked. That's cool. And there's 0 chance of me being able to monitor the chat off screen. This failed epically. The iPad over here, not so good. That's not going to work for a monitor, so I guess I'm just going to have to monitor it on the broadcasting device, which is our phone tonight, and we'll see how it goes. I'll try and keep up. Click a thumbs up on the video if you guys like it. If you guys like these broadcasts, I love hearing from you guys. So, long story short, before I went live, I spent some time last night, and this is less of a spaghetti soup now. I routed all the electronic speed control wires kind of where I think they should be. This is our flight control board up top. This is the brains of this quadcopter. This is what makes all the kind of smart decisions. And underneath is the power distribution board where we need to route all these wires. One side is our negative side, one side is our positive side, and everything needs to be kind of living comfortably before we go and solder them into place. And we don't want to run into things getting shorted and whatnot, so I kind of settled kind of on, I think this is going to work pretty good. But I don't know. I've never built one of these 225 low slung quads before. So the next thing we have to decide is we're going to be running these 4-cell 1300 lipos. This is one of my good ones. One of only 2 tattoo batteries I have. These are crazy. 75C, I think. Yeah, 75C. Really awesome battery. But anyway, it's got a long lead on it. We're not going to shorten those. So what we have to decide is how long are we going to make this XT60 connector. And I think we can decide to make that awfully short right now. Because even with the standard length of the battery, we're going to have way more than enough length. So mental note, you guys remind me in a few minutes. Keep that real short, because I'll probably forget. We'll go ahead and start kind of soldering things up. I really wish I could monitor the chat off screen here. It's really disturbing me that I can't. I'm going to try opening the YouTube app real quick. Sorry, this is going to be... I'm still working out how to do these from the bench live streams. And yeah, hopefully they'll get better each time. And while that's booting, clean the soldering iron, got my drip tray. I think we should be in good shape. We're going to need some thick solder. We're going to need some high quality thin solder. And we should be in good shape. Let's see. Let's see if we can get to it. What happens if we go to my videos off here? Is it going to show me the chat over here? Can I see we're live? No. crud. That just figures. Oh, the hell with it. I'll monitor it as best I can on this. No sense in wasting any more time. I'll queue up an actual PC next time. Alright. So we're going to do, what should we do first, guys? Positive or negatives? Doesn't really matter. I think, let's try sticking to this end. Hopefully we don't move things too much. Let's do the XT60 connector right away, I think. Because that's going to, so this is our power distribution board underneath here. And we can trim some excess right now. Let's do that. Let's get some stuff out of our way. So we're going to want the XT60 to be cut right about there. We're going to cut right about there on the back side. Let's do it first. Nothing to it. It's good high quality silicone wire, but this is your main connection to your quad. This is going to be flowing oodles of amperage. So we better do a good job soldering it. Hopefully we do. I don't know. Doing things live behind the camera is tricky, I can tell you guys that. But glad you guys could join me. Anybody else building anything cool out there today? Throw a message in the chat or click a thumbs up or something. I see there's 15 people or so here now. That's pretty cool. Not bad for an impromptu live stream. That's fun. Really like hanging out with you guys. Alright. This is a real pain behind the camera. Alright, so this is just the WEP iron. I like this iron. It works pretty good. It's got a lot of heat. We're set to 460 degrees right now, so tons and tons and tons of power. We'll just tin these. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Nice high quality wire. I like this stuff. This just came with the kit, so I'm always pleasantly surprised when it works out pretty well. I'll just move the third hand a little closer. Alright. Now, interesting part, make sure you set your standoffs. These are nylon standoffs, so they're gonna they're probably gonna get damaged in this process, because what we want to do is make sure we know where our wires need to be. And the best way to do that is to have all the obstacles in place. And unfortunately, that usually causes trouble. So normally what I would do is just tin everything right now. And you know what? I think we'll just do that. So we'll just take, I've gone through the kind of make sure everything's laid in place. So we'll just, it took a long time to figure out this routing, actually, to be honest. So we'll just set the positives up here and just sort of set them out of the way for now, and we'll go ahead and tin everything. And this is where you need a heck of a strong iron. You have to have a lot of heat to do this effectively, because this is a pretty thick board, and you want to get a nice pool of solder on each of these pads and be ready to accept our tinned wires. So here we go. Let's see how we do. That looks nice. That looks nice. So unfortunately, these are, there's no segregation whatsoever. So how are we going to do this? This is going to present problems getting a good joint after. Since that all flowed together, it's going to be very, very hard. Crap. You know what? I think we're going to try one of each. On this side, let's just try one pool and see how that works out, because that's we're going to have to make everything molten for that to work well on the backside. I think it's going to be easier to do it this way. So see how, I know this is going to be hard to see on this camera. We got a good heat, good flow in there, and top shelf. That's perfect. That backside's going to be a lot harder. That was a bit of a mistake, I think, to tin it all that much with this particular PDB, but whatever. Let's go with it. All right, so let's do these down the outside, these guys down the inside. So let's work inside to out. We'll do, yeah, then we don't cross over. Top job mat. Cheers, Aunt Sharp. Let's give ourselves just a tiny bit of slack. Trim. Good pair of side cutters, that's all you need. Don't need to get fancy with strippers, just a little crimp with the side cutters and away you go. You could remove the big puddle. Yeah, I could remove that. I'm just going to see how this goes. I really think that's going to be a problem, but I have enough iron that I can make the entire thing molten. I have enough heat. I can actually do it. I just don't like it. It's ouch. It's not going to be as classy as what I normally like. So let's make sure that I'm on camera. Let's maybe move the camera a little closer for you guys. Just a little bit closer yet. There we go. My hands will be in the way. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We'll tin that pad. Try and keep it kind of confined to just that pad if we can. Tweezers, yep, I have such things, but it's not a big deal just yet. It's not about holding it. I'm more concerned about getting the high quality joints than I am about the wiring. And actually that one's a little long. Do we want to go around the outside? I really don't like going around the outside of these posts. Ooh. It's going to be better because the radius is too sharp. The radius is really too sharp if we come in from the inside of this post here, so I think it's better that we come in from the outside. If you cut the radius too tight on a piece of wire, this is what you would call a good radius. If you do this at 90 degrees coming in from behind this little black post, you're going to introduce a pinch point and an area where you're eventually going to end up with broken strands and a potential area where it's just going to burn up and fail. And I think, yeah, this is the better way to do it. Soldering left-handed is a piss poor idea, but let's do it. Make sure. There. Beautiful. I don't know that you can pick that up on camera, but nice and shiny silver. Boom. And a far better radius. We could have trimmed that up just a tiny bit, but hey, it'll do. And then from this side, we're going to come straight in across the PDB, like so. That'll do. And we're going to cut it, strip it, tin it. Repeat many, many times. The thing with most electronics builds, it's usually a lot of repetition, but it's fun. Don't tin your wires over top of your electronics, so when you slobber a chunk of solder, it doesn't end up on your board. And I grabbed the wrong solder, but that'll do. That was my little itty bitty stuff. And this is just my splash pad. Always have like a little splash pad handy. It's so much easier than having it drip all over your bench. Boom. Turn this away. Tin this pad. This is where we get close to that standoff where we might damage it, but that's okay. because we can always replace that standoff. That is ugly because it burnt my finger. Ow! That's more gooder. Nice and silver. Perfect. Get the wire routed around where it's supposed to be. There, that'll do. Repeat. Now, we came down the inside before, so we're going to come down the inside again. This is going to go to the outside. This one we will come around the post on the outside of the post and around to here. Beauty. Beauty, beauty. It's all about kind of making it pretty but functional and kind of anticipating where the failure points are going to be. That's the tricky part. This is going to be flowing a lot of amperage. This is a pretty high current situation quadcopter. So if you missed it, this is a 225 millimeter kind of insane little race quad. This is going to be a rocket ship on motors. And put a big chunk of solder on my nice mat. Alright. I think I might actually take whoever suggested that. We might pull that solder back off those far pads. I think this is the better way to go. I can see those far pads being a nightmare since they're already all tinned with a large blob. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be just a mess. So I think we might pull it back off. We will see. You guys like these live shows? Kind of live from the bench, just actually building something. Let me know what you guys think, whether they're worth continuing in this format or what we should build next, perhaps. Oh, this is ugly. I think we'll touch that up after. It's not a bad joint, but love the live shows. Cheers. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate that. That one was not the best joint, so what we'll do is we'll touch that up after. Once we get this in place, because I have a feeling that this one's going to dork it up a little bit. Let's go. But not long. I work in my shop every night. Always fun to watch someone else. Cheers. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it, because I'm really enjoying it, actually. It's fun. It's, as you guys know, I did the tech live shows for a long time, and they're fantastic, but they take a lot of prep work, and they really do take away from being able to just build stuff. So if I can just bring you guys along for just a live build, it's the best of both worlds for me. Quality's not as good. I don't have multiple cameras and all my OBS switching and stuff like that, but it's perfect for just impromptu, just get it done and build something. There. Now that is what the joint should look like. Nice and clean, very silver. Let's see if we can just go ahead and just that one up. Well, that wasn't what I intended to happen, but there. That one's good. And the XT60 is probably going to end up melting everything. And you will burn your fingers. Perfect. In order to get that nice, beautiful, molten, everything the way you want it, you end up having to burn your fingers just a little bit. Perfect. Done. That's what we want. Now let's just go ahead, make sure we didn't mess anything up. Our flight controller is still going to be able to go on. except we melted one of the posts. Looking good. I think this will do. That's the positive rail. Now we have to bring one of the negatives right across the board, right down the middle, and join it in. Now the question is, do we take all this solder off that we tinned in the first place and just start fresh? I'm really tempted to just take it off there. I just got to think for a second. Once in a while you just got to evaluate. Take a step back. Take a drink of your beer. Chill out. I do have beer on the go. What should we do? Should we pull it off with some solder wick, solder sucker? I really think we should. I think that's going to be a mess. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You tell me what to do. I'll do what the chat says to do. Pull all this solder off of here and start fresh, or try and deal with it the way it is. You let me know. Let me know. What to do? Dress. What's dress mean? Don't know what dress means. Let's wing it. Let's go for it. Fress. I don't know what fress means either. Alright, so we got a negative down this side. Cut down the excess weight of the solder. Yeah, well, we're going to need that much solder on there for all the wires eventually anyway. I would take it off and might cause issues in the future. Well, we're going to end up putting it all back, so I'm not sure you guys, maybe I didn't fully explain, like this all needs to be there. We just got to put wires underneath it, take the flight control off and heat up the puddle and smack it on the table. Yeah, you could. We could do that. That's going to make a hell of a mess, because remember, on this PDB, we've got 2 buck converters on here, so I don't think we'll do it that way. Alright, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it, guys. Always tin your iron first. I know you guys can't see that because it's off camera. Let's start with the big ugly one, because that'll give us an indication of how this is going to work. And actually we're fine, because I have an insanely hot iron and it's no problem to remolten that. It's just, it's not perfect. It's yeah, I normally would do a better job, but so be it. So alright, so we got a negative to come around this side, and I forgot, how did we handle this on the positive side? We brought it around the long way and we went in from the outside to the second from the middle. Now, how about the far side? Oh yeah, because it's different on the negative side. It might be best to cut these sharp. Yes, 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 yes. Then we can keep it inside the post. And the cool thing is, on the negative side, we have a little less concern about chafing. Like, not that we shouldn't be concerned with wires chafing through, but if one of our negative wires chafes through and shorts to one of these metal standoffs, what happens to our quad? The answer is nothing, because it's on the negative side, and if it shorts to the carbon fiber frame, it will not hurt a darn thing. So we can, that's why I routed the negative wires down along the sides here, and the positives through the middle. The positives through the middle I can manage with some foam tape, but these negatives not so much. So we can be a bit slightly more, I don't know, what would the term be, aggressive with our routing of those. Now we need to get that positive wire out of the way temporarily. I think we'll remove the peg, the standoff, Now that we have our length right, we know we can always move things around. We want the positive to always be on top, so we'll bring it around, under, and then we can hit this. It would be better to go around the... No, let's stick to the plan and come in at an angle. Kind of the whole, hey, from New Zealand, cheers to New Zealand. How's things in New Zealand? This is 90% of the battle with building quadcopters from the ground up is just figuring it out. And having good... Now, that's a beautiful, beautiful solder joint. Nice, clean, flowed in no problem. So, but unfortunately, we've done crinked the wire a little more than I wanted to. There we go. Beauty. Beauty, beauty. That will do. We're gonna have two of them. Like, we really would rather not having one on top of the other, but unfortunately with this is a tiny, tiny space premium quadcopter, so we're gonna have wires pretty much on top of each other. I'm just gonna move the camera back up a bit. It's cold and windy. The GEP-225, very cool. Is that? I think this might actually be a GEP-225. Tell me whether it is or not. You would know best. My best friend printed this for me. I didn't do it on my own printer. Very cool. Someday I will fly it. I thought it was really cool. I was super happy to get that as a gift. One of these days I'll put it together, but right now I've got too many other quads to play with, to be honest. Beautiful looking little frame, like 3D printed, awesome. Anybody can make one. Simple, like small amount of running gear. I just love it. I love the entire concept behind it. It's it just blows me away that you can 3D print yourself like a high quality, fully functional quadcopter that works. Like, yeah, maybe it's not going to keep up with the big boys because it's going to be a little heavier. Like, you're not going to go to a race with it, but perfectly good to get flying and have a blast with. Very cool. Alright, this time I'm going to use... How can we do this? This is so hard working around this camera. Do you not have a 3D printer? Just new sub, love your comment. Yeah, I do have a 3D printer. I have a Solidoodle 2 that I've had and been using for many years. You can go back on the channel. That there probably wasn't a lot of channels doing 3D printing when I got that, actually. I was probably one of the early adopters. I forget how many years I've had that. And this is where we run into the trouble. We've got a lot of mass here. These joints are not going to be as pretty. Oh, crap. I should just shut my mouth, because that's a pretty decent joint. That is... I'll just shut up right now. I did not think that was going to work out that well, but sure enough, it did. Alright, so let's stick with the same plan. Let's go negative down. Negative came down the outside, went to the first one in, so we'll leave him till last. This is the one we want to do right now, and I brought it around the outside and in. Alright. I have to talk to myself a lot to remember where I'm going with these. You kind of only get one chance at this, because once you root them and solder them on, you really don't want to have to change them. It really doesn't matter. You can be a lot less picky than what I'm being, truthfully. Like, it's fine. You could just hack it together, but the shorter we make these wires, the less weight the quad's going to have, the better it's going to perform, and this thing is going to be a rocket. So, and the better we route them and the better solder joints we do, the less likely we're going to have any mid-air issues or problems or issues out at the field that might cause us to have a shorter day of flying. And I hate those shorter days of flying when you finally get out there and get everything all set and you run into freaking some kind of a failure that wrecks your day, and then you gotta wait 2-3 weeks till the next time you can go out. This is how we avoid them. What battery are you going to put in it? I run 1300 4-cells. This is the tattoos. I have 2 of these, and then the other ones I'm running is just Hobby King 1300, the Turnigy, nothing fancy. I think they're for the, I don't even remember what they rate them in C rating. You never know with Hobby King. I think they rate them like 45 to 90 or some silly number on them. It's actually quite bizarre. And that is, I was going to say that's going to be ugly, but it turned out fine. I saw nice and clean and shiny. It's good. The negative lead from our XT60 though needs work. That's not the best joint. I could do better. So I think we'll touch that up after. That's the one we want. Like, we're going to be pulling a ridiculous amount of amperage through this, so we want to make sure we get it as good as we can. Sorry if I miss any chat messages, guys. These chat messages on the mobile only stay up for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So if I miss your message, you can go ahead and put it in again. Sorry. Glad you guys are here. It's fun. Alright, let's touch that up. We're on the last legs of this thing. We were worried for nothing. Look at that. Sweet. Let's move. Let's take that standoff off, same as we did before. Because it gets a little congested in the corner. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty. That is going to be pretty. This is going to be a classy little build. I'm going to be proud of this, truthfully. I think it's going to be awesome. It takes a while to do them with a little bit of pride, but totally worth it. See how much easier that is on the end. That turned out beauty. Now, we need to do something about that negative lead. I don't know whether you guys can see this on this camera, but that is fugly. It needs to be better. That is not mil-spec by any stretch. But so we can get it heated. That is going to be pretty. There we go. That's what we're after. Look at that. How much did that cost you all up? That's the beauty. So this one cost me nothing. GearBest sent me this for review. I'll be totally honest. I went online night before last after I started building this and remembered that I don't have spare motors and I don't have spare ESCs, and I went online just to see how much it was going to be to get these Emax red bottom 2205s and the 30 amp Little Beast. I bought a whole nother one of these quads from GearBest, and it was I'm pretty sure it was $169 Canadian, and that's Canadian pesos. And then I switched, I bought DHL shipping, and I've already got the notice that it's coming, and I believe it was $6 Canadian, all in, complete quad, camera, VTX, the video transmitter, Little B 30 amp ESCs, and red bottoms, and that was right out of GearBest. Like, I could not believe that they had that deal still, because I've seen them in the neighborhood of 200 and some odd. 260, I think I saw this as high as once upon a time. So yeah, I grabbed another one just night before last, and I'm pretty sure it was 169 Canadian, which is, it just blew me away. I thought it was an error and they'd correct it, but they didn't. I got a shipping notice. So although I got this one free, even though I haven't built it yet, I know the powertrain. You guys have seen this in my 210 in the GB210. I've used these same components. I flew it last weekend. It's rock solid stuff, so you literally can't fail. Check that out. Now, we went with a little bit more than I should have there. We have a little bit more loop than what we need, but we can tuck that in. It's better to have a tiny bit too much than too little, obviously, but we're in good shape. That's kind of classy looking in a way, like as good as you can make spaghetti soup look. I think that's pretty good, and we will have no problem with our flight control, except for that there. That one standoff was I touched it with the iron, and underneath we have tons of room in between the PDB and the flight control, enough room to just put a little bit of something, a little foam tape, just to make sure things stay in place and don't chafe, because obviously we don't want anything chafing through long term, depending on how long this quad lasts. But we've got tons of room. That's right down on the standoffs, just tickety boo. Now this is a tiny quad to build. These things are like, there's not much room to play with. Now we still need to hook up our video transmitter wires. We've got 12 volt here and our 5 volt for our radio and our VTX, which will go in this nifty little pod that's up here. And I think I've got that kind of sorted out. It's going to sit something like so. It's still on sale for $175 US, ends tomorrow. Yeah, I got it even cheaper than that. But $175 US for this, like, no joke. Like, that's, how far wrong can you really go? Now, this is a clone F3 flight controller, and I do advocate buying from Seriously Pro, absolutely. But if a lot of my viewers, you guys are budget minded. A lot of you are on your first or second builds, and how far wrong can you go for that price? This is top quality stuff, and these are the true Emax motors from GearBest. They come in the, well, it's missing the outer cover. They're the real deal. They're not the rebrands. So I stand behind it for that price. Well, like I told you, I bought one. All of this one was free. It's the same gear I'm familiar with, and I wouldn't hesitate to buy another one even before I finished even before I've flown this one, because I know what I'm getting. It's only the frame that varies, and if the frame breaks, well, so be it. The frames are $20 to buy anywhere. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings by buying a clone frame, as long as you got the running gear. So yeah, no, it's a hell of a deal. This thing's going to be a well and true rocket. This is so light in the hand. Compared to my 210, this is gonna be nutty. This is gonna be so fun. So normally they have the VTX mounted horizontally across the pod at the top. I'm gonna change that, and I'm gonna mount it this way. I may do it off camera, just like not live. I'll get that mounted, get that run the wires, get the wires run for our battery monitoring to my telemetry. We're going to be running the FSI 6. Oh, I don't have any of my receivers handy. We're going to run the FSI 6 transmitter. You guys are going to see a video on a new firmware on that next Friday. Awesome new firmware. Makes it like a Tyrannus. I have full telemetry, full battery warnings, full flight timer warnings, like alarms now, finally. Super happy. For under a $50 radio, I'm just tickled. So, and yeah, next we just hook up our speed control wires to our speed control here. And the video audio stops starting for anyone else. Nice narrow arms, the older quads had wide cut down thrust. Yeah, this is super narrow. The speed controls are wider than the arms, and a lot of thrust is going to make it past these arms. This thing is, I've seen some videos of this exact model, and the thing is well and truly a rocket. It's going to be beyond my skill level, I'll admit that. It's going to be well beyond my skill level, but I'll learn, I think. Yeah, audio cut in and out a bit. YouTube. It's funny, it's always fine on the the playback. That sucks. No, so bad. And our battery is going to go on like so. And with any luck, we'll figure out. Actually, I should hook it the other way around. And then. And then. Nope. So I actually could have made that longer. I never thought of that. So now we're going to have to run the battery this way, or switch out that cable, it's fine. And we'll have to find a way to tidy up the excess. It doesn't matter on a low slung quad, we can have this big loop. I don't... Can I plug it in? That's not just yet. I missed that message to Murray Cat, sorry. I saw it just as your name went away. But yeah, we're in good shape. This is going to be good. We'll sort it out. As time goes on, we're going to be good. But that's the PDB soldered in place, the power distribution board, happy as a clam, good, kind of clean looking wiring. I think we're in good shape. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with those solder joints. I think we did good. Even though I wouldn't repeat it doing the same way we did the second one, the first one is far better. Normally it's easier if they have a silk screen. The solder flux stops you from causing that massive flow that we had. But yeah, we're good. Cheers, guys. I think that's it for tonight. I'm happy with that build. Click a thumbs up if you guys like these live builds and would like to see more. I'll gladly do more with you guys. It's fun. It's fun to hang out with you guys and just shoot the breeze and get to chat live. And really appreciate all your feedback, ideas. Thanks for the build tips. That's a blast. I have a new video coming out on the channel tomorrow, kind of electronics related. Last ESCs I came with a box to protect them, destroyed the boxes. Yeah, I haven't been running anything on top of them to protect from the props on my 210, but I'm thinking I will. I think I'll just 3D print little covers and then refasten these down. I think I'll just do a really thin 3D printed cover, and that way when I have a prop strike, you're not gonna end up chewing into the ESC. I'm with you. I've seen too many people, and maybe you've experienced it, I haven't, where the prop just through the top of the ESC and she's game over. That's no fun. That's not a good way to lose an ESC. So I may just make some quick little 3D printed covers, and maybe in an upcoming broadcast we can design those in like 5 minutes and just print them out, no problem. Or like you say, I can just throw a chunk of prop on there, and that's guaranteed to work too. It's just not quite as pretty. So awesome. Tomorrow, new electronics video coming out. Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll try and do some more live videos. Next week, you'll get to see the firmware update for the transmitter, which is totally cool. Check it out. It's going to be a blast. Have a great night, guys. Great hanging out with you. All the best. Cheers.